Hello everybody and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now today we are going to be doing another thrift store and garage sale finds video because the last video that I did on the $20 iPad and the Windows 95 boxes that I found, you guys really wanted to see some more of this kind of stuff. I got a lot of positive comments on that, kind of saying that hey, show us more of this. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Now obviously I don't find great things at every thrift store or garage sale that I go to, but I just so happened to be at one of my local Goodwills the other day, and I found a couple interesting items. You guys can probably tell from the from the title what these items are. But I found, a few things that I thought would be good to show on video, and the first one here actually kind of relates to an earlier video that I did on the IBM Model M. If you guys have seen, I've done about 4 or 5 videos on that by now. But on my typing test video, where what I basically did was, compared the typing sounds and basically the overall typing experience from that keyboard. I basically, compared it to a bunch of other keyboards that I have, and one of you guys actually posted, his name is Michael Gardner here, and he said, could you compare the Model M to the Dell AT101W? And I actually did not have this keyboard, but now I do, because that's the keyboard that I found at this, in particular, Goodwill that I visited. And this keyboard, it doesn't really have the same key switches, obviously, that the IBM Model M does. But something that I found interesting is there are Dell branded keyboards out there that actually have the IBM buckling spring key switches, which I found to be, quite odd. I believe they were sold kind of as like a deal between Dell and IBM at some point. But this is a mechanical keyboard, so if I kind of type on it here, you can tell that it's not like membrane based. It's not like soft. It does give some tactile feedback, but definitely not as much tactile feedback as the IBM Model M does. And I got this keyboard. I'll show you on the back here how much I paid for it, because I have not done any cleaning to it, but you can see I got that for $1.21, and the color I believe was like red or something, so it wasn't half off. Basically, if you're not familiar with what Goodwill does, at least in my area, they kind of price everything with colors. And if you find something, for example, this is yellow here. And if you find something that is yellow and the color of the day happens to be yellow, then you get 50% off of that item. I believe most Goodwills around the country do that. Some of them might not, but in my area they happen to do that, so that is nice. But I rarely find something that is half off, but even with this not being half off, that's still a really good price for this keyboard. I have not tested. I don't know if it works yet. But you can see that this is obviously a PS2 keyboard, and if I show you the model number here, let me just get that out of the way. This is the AT101W, and this is, let's see here if there's a manufacturing date on here. I don't think these had, it says part 4 1990. This was made in Mexico, unlike the Model M that I have that was made here in the USA. But yeah, so this was obviously a later keyboard, but it's still very good. People still pay I don't know if you would say top dollar, but people still pay good prices for these keyboards if you look them up on eBay and the various other sites out there. You may notice that it does look a little bit yellowed down here at the bottom, and that's from obvious signs of use. This keyboard may have been used in an office environment and whatnot, so I may try to use some Retro Bright on it to kind of clean that up. If you don't know what that is, I've done a video on restoring my Super Nintendo Entertainment System, which the entire bottom half was basically completely yellowed, and I did a video basically showing you guys how you can basically restore it back to normal using nothing but like some hair dye, which is pretty cool. So I may try to do that with this, but we will see if I may make a video on that if you guys want to see it. But yeah, you may also notice this does have the older style Windows keys down here, which is nice because my Model M does not have that. So yeah, that is the Dell AT101W. It also has these like large like stands back here, or I guess feet, whatever you would call them. So so like you can stand up like this. I think that even the Model M that I have has really small stands back here. So yeah, that is the first find, and the next one we're probably going to be spending a little more time on, basically because of what essentially what it is. And this is a very obscure thing, at least in my area, for my Goodwills to sell. Now, I'm just gonna kind of bring this on camera, and I will briefly talk about this. So, the second item that I got is a Dell Inspiron laptop here, and you can see that I paid $2.92 as is for this laptop, and this was one of those things where I didn't know if it was going to work. The charger was not bundled with this, and this was just one of those things I was like, why not? Like, if it doesn't work, $3 not a big deal. I can salvage some of the parts from this. I'm sure there's like some RAM in here, and I can throw that in my parts bin to use. And it also has, if you notice, a Linksys wireless card here, so I could use that if it doesn't work. So I just kind of bought this. You'll notice, let me kind of open this up here. It's in fairly good shape. Some of the keys are a little rough here. I think that the space bar, kind of in here, you can see there's some grime. But besides that, I mean, it's in nice shape overall. There's no cracks in the screen at all. It looks fairly new. There's nothing wrong with the actual trackpad or the buttons. So I would say this was very lightly used or semi-moderately used. I wouldn't say this was used in like a work environment or anything like that. I'm sure that all these keys work. But that is what we have yet to discover. This is, again, the Dell Inspiron 4150, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the actual model of this laptop. And this is a Windows XP era laptop. So, yeah, I just kind of brought this home. So I was kind of looking around the store to actually try to find the power supply for this, as this does have a sort of Dell proprietary port on the back here. If I kind of show you, I'm pretty sure that there's not many other laptops that use that. I think this was only used on Dells. So I thought that may be sort of an issue. However, I was at the store and then I remembered that I had this other laptop at my house here, obviously. And I kind of bought this at a yard sale sometime in the past, and it actually turned out not to work. I'll just kind of bring it on camera here. This is the Dell Latitude CPI right here. There is something wrong with this laptop, and this cost me I think $2, and it came with a bunch of accessories and things, and it's in very good shape. This is a little bit older than this one. It's in very good shape, very much like the other one. I think the only problem is this key here is a little bit cracked and bent in, but it's in very good shape overall. And this is a Pentium 2 machine, and it's designed for Windows NT or 98. I'm going to assume this runs Windows 98. So, but this doesn't work. However, I did save the bag that came with it, which has the power supply in it. And, it just so happens that the power supply on here has the same little, port, because this one here, it's not on the back here, but on this side, it has the same little weird port here that Dell used, I guess, on their laptops from the time. So I just kind of thought, well, if it doesn't work on this laptop, or if this laptop is dead, or whatever happens to be wrong with it, well, maybe it'll work on this. So that's what I did. I just plugged it in here, and it turns out to work, and that's what we're going to be doing here. I'm going to plug this into the wall, and I'll show you guys. Basically all I did was I turn it on to see if it works. I have not actually booted in to see if there's anything on it. So that's what we're going to be doing on video, because I did want to kind of save my, I guess you could say, reaction for the video, if you guys wanted to see that. So alright, so we have the Dell Inspiron laptop here, all plugged in and everything. We're just going to turn it on here and see what happens. So I did, again, just check to see if it would actually boot up, which it does. Well, I just basically, let it go to this screen. And it looks like there's no, let's see here. Press F2 to run setup utility here. I'm going to turn the lights off so you guys can see this better, because I do want to kind of zoom in here. So, yep, invalid configuration. Please run setup program. Time of date not set. So let's see what's actually on this. So we'll run setup. So it looks like we have a mobile Pentium 4, 1.6 gigahertz, system memory 384 megabytes of RAM. I'm assuming we have a 60 gig hard drive. Check that out. We actually have a hard drive in here. HI Radeon 7500. We have a CD RW in the modular bay. One of the nice things about these series of Dell laptops, and this is also on the Dell Latitude CPI that I have here. Let me just turn on the light so I can kind of show you here again. I'm not going to obviously do it on this one that's running here, but one of the nice things is that you can actually, on the bottom here, there's this sort of modular bay, and what you can do is basically pull this out. I'm going to have to use two hands here, but you can. So yeah, one of the nice things about this Dell series of laptops is this sort of modular bay system here. And so basically what this was is you have these two bays on the bottom here, and this one over here holds the battery here. And I think that this is dead on. This is again the Latitude CPI. So I believe that this battery is completely dead. So this is the only this tray here, or this bay. It only holds the battery, so it makes swapping batteries very easy. Because again, all you have to do is just take out the old battery and then put the new one in, and then you're good. Over here, though, what's very nice is you can actually swap out, installed right here right now is a floppy drive. But if you say wanted to swap that out for a CD-ROM drive, all you have to do is, and I actually happen to have one of these here. I think I do. Let me see here. I got so many of these because this guy had a bunch of these. All you have to do is go out and get the CD-ROM module here. And you just have to take out the floppy drive module and put in the CD-ROM one, and then now you can install whatever software that you wanted to through CD-ROM. Now again, the only problem with this was you would have to power down your laptop if you wanted to swap out these things all the time. But it was very nice because it basically let you not have to have two separate drives in here all the time, and that would obviously take up space. So they could use that space for more things inside of the laptop, obviously. And one of the other things they did is they actually made it so you can say if you wanted to actually have both of these at the same time, they made this external bay here. So this is essentially the same thing, but you actually plug it in via serial to the back of this laptop here. So if you say wanted to have the CD-ROM module on the internal bay here and the floppy drive on the external one, you just can do that, with no problem at all here. You just plug this in here. You have this sitting next to your laptop, and you can have both of these drives going at the same time. So yeah, that is one of the nice things about this. And again, this same system is on this laptop right here, because it has these two bays at the bottom. I believe this one is for the battery and that one's for the CD-ROM. So I may, if I wanted to put some older software, I can just swap out that for a floppy drive one that I have. So it was a good thing that I kept all this old stuff from this laptop, because if I didn't, then this one would be basically a parts machine, basically, because I wouldn't have any way of actually turning it on. So let's see what we actually have to do here, because it just said invalid configuration. I'm not sure what it actually. We'll just set the date here. Well, the date's off, so let's change this to 2016. Is it actually May 15th? No, it's May 8th. Okay. Because it is a Sunday, but it's not May 8th, or it's not May 15th. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go to Alt-P, change pages. Yeah, boot order. We want to get rid of the disk. Oh yeah, that's what this was the freaking boot order. I didn't even see that. Okay, I can never figure out how to navigate this. Oh, okay, that's what it is. So we want the internal hard disk drive first. Then we'll do the CD-ROM. Alright, we'll press escape, save, and we'll see what happens. There we go. Oh, check that out. Windows XP. Well, obviously, but I didn't think there was actually going to be anything on here, so there is. Okay, so here we are on this person's desktop here, so that's somewhat nice. It looks like we have a few things here. We have hijacked this. It's an old program. Trend Micro, a folder called My Computer. What is this? I'm obviously gonna blur out stuff if I find some sensitive documents on here. So we just have hijack this. So yeah, it looks like this thing works perfectly fine. We'll run My Computer here. So we'll kind of see what's on this. So local disk. This should be a 60 gig hard drive there. I'm gonna kind of zoom in because I know you guys can't really see this. I need to invest in a capture card, because I think by doing that it would make these kind of videos a lot easier. We have a Excel spreadsheet of some kind. We have a let's see here. That's just a 16 kilobyte file, so that's probably not that much. Let's go to this person's documents. Okay, well there's his name, so I'm gonna blur that out. If we go in here, we got. I'm gonna probably be cutting a lot of this out, because there's not that much. I mean, it's nothing like the $2.50 Power Mac G5 video, where if you guys saw that, I said there was a ton of sensitive data on there. There's nothing like that on here, at least so far. There's just some stuff about, well, I'm not obviously gonna say, but it's not really that much. I'm gonna obviously wipe this hard drive completely and reinstall Windows. So yeah, that is so I'm really surprised that this thing works. So yeah, there's not really that much sensitive data on here, so it looks like the people have, or the previous owner has cleared off all of their data, or they haven't really, or they just didn't really use this laptop for housing all of their, I guess, sensitive data, which is good. I am still going to be wiping this and reinstalling Windows, as I always do that when I get PCs from thrift stores. But what I'm actually going to be doing now is seeing if we can get this little Linksys card over here, if we can actually get this working online. If you guys saw, this is actually interesting. They used the MSN for to get online. They used MSN Explorer, which was, I believe, for dial-up and stuff. They used that. Whoever used this. So that means this thing was basically connected to a phone line, which is kind of interesting for a portable laptop. I guess when they got this, like they didn't really, or this like wireless card, they didn't use that much anymore. So let's see here. I'm gonna actually see if this thing. Let's just go here. Okay, well wait, hang on a second. So by using the actual like Linksys program here, it's actually able to get online, or it says that I've successfully connected to the access point and the internet. So I'm guessing that the like Windows tool is just stupid or something, because or it's like out of date or whatever, because this one works perfectly fine. Let's see if we're actually online. Let's see what happens. Yes, I don't. Jeez. Of course, Internet Explorer is going to yell at me because I don't have add-ons on. Let's just go to google.com. See what happens here. Connect. Ah, there we go. Check it out. So yes, we are able to get online. That is very good. So this little Linksys card here does actually work. You just have to use the actual like Linksys program here, which I didn't see this down here for some reason. I just went to like the actual Windows one, but I guess that they have that like disabled. That's usually what happens is the Windows one, and doesn't really work when there is a software installed by the actual card manufacturer. So that's probably why that it didn't work. Of course, Internet Explorer is provided by Yahoo. On the time, look at this. Yeah, somebody downloaded it through like Yahoo or whatever. We have a link to Yahoo Mail. This is some like built-in like weird thing, whatever. So let's go to my website here and see if it works or not. Because you know how IE is, at least I'm sure you guys are. Oh well, it actually loaded most of it. I mean, it's got the right fonts up here. That's been a problem with some older web browsers for some reason. Well, I mean, I know why. It's because like the font doesn't load on the older web browsers. Yeah, it's somewhat laggy, but it does work. I'll go to my YouTube here. There it is. I don't think the video is actually going to play because yeah. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. Again, this has been a sort of well, it has been a thrift store finds video, and I'm going to be trying to do. Let's just power this off here. I am going to be trying to do more of these. When I find things at my local thrift stores, or even like my non-local thrift stores if I happen to find something while that I am traveling. So yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and if you want to see more videos like this, definitely sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to consider supporting the channel, you can do so by simply shopping on Amazon by using my Amazon affiliate code link down below in the video description. It is totally safe and through Amazon, and all profits that I make from it will be going right back into making these videos and investing in new things like I mentioned in this video. For example, getting a capture card so I can make better quality videos for you guys. And yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.